Hello, chat. Welcome in, everyone. Just getting myself some water. How we doing? All sorts of people in here right off the bat. Welcome in, everyone. Happy to see you, Will. Welcome, Cosmic. Hello, JK. Hello, Hedda Broccoli. Hello, Nan Reader. Hello, T. Welcome, all of ya. Hey, CK. not there yet. So hello, I'm Chef JT. We're gonna be doing duck leg Arrabbiata. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I am not Italian. We're basically making spicy Italian, spicy spaghetti, and adding duck leg into the party. And then also going to be doing a bunch of prep for Thanksgiving. Going to be making the duck roulade, which I'm going to be wrapping with the breast with fat and some Italian sausage. And then rolling that up and just refrigerating that for now. I'm going to sous vide that into Thanksgiving, allow it to chill, and then blast it to sear it on Thanksgiving / warm it back up. And then I'm going to get started with making duck stock tonight, and I'm going to wrap that up on tomorrow's stream along with tomorrow's dinner, which is going to be turkey and rice soup using turkey legs. But the recipe I have in the Discord, I think, is just cooked turkey. Okay, coffee. We're into at least heavy fall, if not winter. And so I'm going with canned tomatoes, even though, like, there are some tomato vendors still around. I don't really understand that one, but please take that as a sign of the time of year I am making my sauce and not me hating on fresh tomatoes when fresh tomatoes are fresh. I have no idea if I'm going to like the tomatoes or not because I bought the cans that were on sale. They were organic. We'll see. I've said before, I think some of these organic brands are half out there almost to make a bad name for organics.
Cheers to another month of great food and good times. Chef here, one wiggle.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate the resub. So close on Sprinkle Bot. So close. No, I say that and then I get involved in things and it gets even larger and I end up cleaning up the project. Rinse, repeat. Is everything implemented yet? No. Is it looking good like it might? Yes. Have I tested anything? No. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Cheers. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hopefully you've had a lovely weekend. I have had one filled with coding and errands. Got, I think, all my shopping done through Thanksgiving at this point. I'm Mr. Go to the store every day as far as food is concerned. And so that's saying something. I've even got snacks. I bought a bag of chips. A little low on the beverage end of things, but I'm not going to brave. Yeah, I'm not doing stores just because I'm low on food and drinks. I'll drink water and coffee. Because the stores are already looking like they're nuts. Like, I drove by Safeway today, and the parking lot was like full. Alright, where do we start with things tonight? I think I need to prep some duck. I haven't even checked if this duck is properly defrosted. This should be fun. It's been down here long enough that it should be. Oh, it's feeling pretty defrosted. I think we're okay with that. I choose you. Actually, yeah, I choose you. Yeah. I'm doing this on my normal cutting board. Boo. Bad plan. Ugh. Don't see any other goodies down there. Hey, Justice Fries. I don't know why I did that cut. That might have been a mistake right there. Used to just tearing that off with chickens. I guess I'll cut it here with the duck. Hi, Justice Rice. Tears on this side. From here, it's just getting as much skin as I can get nice and whole. For those that don't know what I'm doing here, is I'm trying to preserve as much of the skin, and I'm going to rewrap the chicken breasts without the carcass and stuff it with Italian sausage, a mild Italian sausage. Deal with that after it's off. It depends. In one hand, yeah. And I can see, like, some people are not exactly keen to handle their food or disgusted by things like the neck and gizzards and stuff like that, or But speaking of that, yeah, I should get these duck legs roasting. I can work on the rest of this duck for the roulade. So this time around, I have leftover duck fat from the last time. And so I am going to use, instead of, last time I tried to keep a lot of the skin with the legs so that I had all the fat for with the legs with roasting them this way, and then pan-seared the breasts. This time, still roasting them with lots of fat, but I'm just using the fat from the duck previously. I'm layering the fat on the bottom almost to mimic the fat on the top, or around the where the skin is on the bird, so that it's not in direct contact, the meat is not in direct contact where it's not buffered by some fat in the oven. So I could put more in there, but I think that's going to be enough for this project. We'll take our legs and layer them. And add a little bit more to cover up this corner here. So we've got that all nicely protected by fat everywhere. And then, just as a for some reason you decide to want to splatter all over, pan with parchment underneath. Oven is not on yet. Exact reason why this thing was in the oven before. Catch things. Oven is now set for 300. So it's going to warm up with the duck in there. And I'm going to go back to trying to preserve all the fat and skin along with the breasts here. That is a good scramble for broccoli to have gotten. And so there we have the carcass, wings, neck. Nice. Yeah, probably one of the most easily visible, like, this plant grows in fractals. There's apparently a whole bunch of them. There's some trees and stuff like that are apparently, like, there's photos of some trees that look very odd because they grow in a fractal pattern. Or maybe that was early AI, I don't remember. No. It's still in the freezer. No. Boo. I'm going with it. Like, I was debating, do I do the microwave defrost? Like, this is maybe the one time microwave defrost is okay in my mind. I never use microwave defrost. I'm not going to use water defrost. So, YOLO. Something else I don't normally do. Might as well just throw all of this down there. So now we have essentially breasts with some extra fat off to the side. Oh, how do I go about this from here? Normal procedure would have me already having a lot more skin than this, but I'm using the thighs and the legs. We still have the... Let's get rid of the cartilage here. Music makes me want to think we're in a detective thriller or, I don't know, maybe an Ocean's movie. I can just move the duck off to the side for a moment here. And we're gonna mix up some of this Italian sausage. Take about a third of that. We're not going to use that for this project. Break this up a bit. I'm going to add a bunch more herbs to this, some more seasoning to this. All the hand washing tonight while that duck cooks away in the oven. It's oven at 300. Oregano, thyme, sage, the sage I've got is so like light and fluffy that it doesn't like to I think that's a good amount. More garlic. Onion. What else do I have in here that I want to throw in here? I think I'll leave it there. But I'm also definitely going to add a bunch of pepper. Not adding more salt. Going to leave... maybe I should add a touch of salt here, but not much, because I don't want to draw out a ton of moisture. And so now we'll give that all a mix up. Check. There's no cartilage there with those. And so now we start the attempt at rolling. Soufflés. Well, that's rolled up nicely in one direction. So obviously this would be the serving side up here with the natural break in the duck breasts. We're going to give this another wrap, though, in the other direction now to better seal it and seal the ends for now we get nice big long ponytails. Pigtails, ponytails that can be used to roll and pinch in the sides. Duck souffle would be like? It'd be like a souffle. That one didn't work out as well. So that is how I am intending to sous vide this. I might throw a Ziploc over the whole thing and leave it like open to the top so that completely watertight, but that is how I'm going to sous vide the duck. And like I said, I'm going to sous vide it and then allow it to rest in the refrigerator, have it be completely chilled, and then blast it on Thanksgiving to bring it up to a servable temp / give it a nice exterior. So I'm going to stop and clean all my boards off now. Make sure everything's nice and clean here. Other side of this cutting board that I didn't even use is dirty. Fun. I've hardly touched my coffee. It's because my hands have been contaminated this entire time for the most part. I think I'm due to have a coffee break here. What do you think, chat? Well, toys, I actually spend quite a bit of time replacing the little filters on those because my water does have hard water or accumulates. But all soufflés are sort of like going back to what a duck soufflé would be. I sort of went off on a tangent on that one, I guess. It wouldn't be all that different from any other soufflé. They're mostly just a big egg poofy thing. It's a little like, what would pizza with duck on it be like? Does CPK still exist, chat? I don't know if there ever was a California Pizza Kitchen in Sonoma. There definitely was when I was in LA. But the aerators are dirt cheap. Like, I mean, it's sort of funny, some plastic things are not dirt cheap, but aerators are dirt cheap, so... I don't know. Was CPK always mid? It definitely would qualify as that now. But I'm thinking, like, when did they get started? I want to say like late 80s. They were, you know, kicking butt. Along with, like, the around the early era of Cheesecake Factory. Sort of like siblings in the restaurant world. Oh, I wouldn't go that harsh with them. Maybe today, like I said, it's been a long time since I've been to one. But, you know, they were not that a decade ago. They were arguably mid a decade ago. All the Zoomers in chat know what I mean by saying mid, right? So this can just go in the fridge, because we're done with this for today. What else am I prepping tonight? Well, let's get our sauce going. Let's get ourselves some sauce going. Well, from my perspective, I mentioned the duck because their Peking duck pizza is one of their mainstays. Though when it came to the point I was living in LA, no longer in New York, and actually had them around, the major thing that was on my list there was their salads. It's a restaurant that I think was always best and probably operated best in a sit-down fashion versus a lot of them turned into like takeout spots later on. I wouldn't dare compare like California Pizza Kitchen to other pizzas. Like, they're not even trying to be like that in the most parts. They're not even trying to be like normal pizzas. They're doing all weird crap. It's probably been 5, 6, 7 years since I've been to an Olive Garden. Olive Garden for a long time has been supported by the lettuce companies or lettuce farmers. They're like association, and from my understanding is they've actually worked it, threatening them that they're going to cancel their free salad and breadsticks to the point that it's, you know, almost advertising for the vegetables with the general public. I believe so, Toys. And I also believe so, Head of Broccoli. they've also, I believe, publicly stated that they don't salt their pasta when cooking it because it hurts their pans. You gotta think that's corporate bean counter territory there, where they're worried about the salt eroding their pans more than seasoning their food. Let's see here. Onion. My experience with the food industry and restaurants, that is quite seriously the margin for restaurants, is doing all of the things that you wouldn't expect them to do. We're going to call this butter on the table, but we're going to mix in 1 pound of butter to 19 pounds cheaper margarine and call it butter. Or sort of makes me feel uneasy about the whole industry, that, you know, that's sort of what you got to do to survive in the industry, is essentially you have to lie to your customers. It goes into other things that irritates me, like the right now in California there's been a big battle back and forth over added fees, such as, you know, like, well, since COVID, they've been putting all sorts of fees on restaurant tabs. And it's really just them lying to the public about the true cost. Like, you're going to add fees onto, like, what's the point of giving me a price if you're going to lie about the price, or if I have to do math to find out what the true price is? Like, that even goes to the point of, you know, plus tax. You know, just tell me how much it is. But because the standard is, and competition do this, we have to survive. Nice. They have become 100% for me. Like, I don't have a family, I don't have other things impacting my day-to-day schedule and what I'm doing. The Applebee's, fast casual, BJ's, Applebee's, Fridays, Olive Garden, all of those have become convenience. Like, I am there, I don't have time to make food myself, I just need to eat. Okay. You know, it's not... And in many cases, in that case, I'll probably go for fast food over it. Because then I don't want to have to deal with paying some teenager, which, no offense to teenagers, but paying low-wage people, you know, a high tip because I feel sorry for they're working for tips and subject to their boss, you know, not paying them. Let's do some fresh garlic too. That's the other major one, is if you're going out somewhere and you know, you don't like frying things, you don't like yourself at home. Like, that's the real big one in most cases. People don't want to fry at home, but they love fried foods. Air fryers have greatly helped them with that because, well, yeah. But that's probably hurt the industry too. These air fryers have probably hurt the industry more than they've... That's something I haven't really thought of, regardless of the fact that I'll sit here and tell you that air fryers are nothing but an advanced version of one of those, and they call it a fryer, so you don't think you're buying a second one of these. I guess that's something to be said for actually the craft or art of what they're going to have to produce with food now is just that much more versus what it was. We probably had a very fun and easy life here with the last, since World War II, and companies like Cisco and Aramark, you know, being able to deliver you everything you need to run a restaurant to your door. Maybe we're to the point here where people are going to have to stand out on either having the right equipment that other people don't, or specialty product, which is not cheap. Hey, Stinky. Where'd my music go? This is that not Christmassy sounding song. Stores are already switching to Christmas music. I should also, like, the fact that they're lying to the people about what an air fryer is irritates me more than people buying air fryers, because, I mean, not having to heat up your whole house with a giant oven is an advantage. Like, there's a lot of advantages to air fryers over these. It's just that they're basically the same thing. That one is just newer and more advanced. If it actually is, because the cheaper air fryers are probably lying about that too. Well, that's sort of part of the reason why I'm doing a little more duck this year. Is, like, duck is not cheap, but it's getting less expensive, if you get what I mean. This was supposed to be cooking. Actually, that's going to be cooking over here. I would argue that, at least for the time that I've been in the restaurant industry, they never have. It's at least a vast majority. Like, I have respect for restaurants where people make an order and go to the actual trouble of sourcing all of their own stuff instead of just calling up their Siscaret. And so taking those wonderful people out of the equation and instead looking at what is probably the majority, if not 80 to 90% of family restaurants doing airline chicken breasts, pre-made, pre-packaged, just doing basic equation versus written out math. And for those people that have been doing the basic equation, I think they've been scraping by, but they haven't been actually making any money. And now they're losing money. So we got the tomato sauce over here on the heat. Add some oil in here. No, onions first. I don't want to burn my garlic. I was just sort of about Cisco and Aramark before COVID. And then COVID hit, and I started hearing stories of what they put people through in order to pay their bills. Things like, okay, you can't function as a restaurant. All right, you're going to open up and sell our products like a retail store. And so I can imagine after that, yeah, there's probably not a big difference. But as it is, you could get those same prices from Cash and Carry or Restaurant Depot or whatever the local flavor is. Also, keep in mind, chat, with the current bankruptcies we're having here, we're probably just before the peak wave of actual bankruptcies from COVID. When you think about the fact that most real estate, when it comes to restaurants and that, are 5+ year, or they're typically 5-year leases, or they're more. You know, sometimes they're 20 or something like that. But those 5-year leases, the last of those are coming to term now. I think that's a little bit why you're hearing about all this other, several of these chains are cashing out right now. Like Denny's closing a good portion of what they own. If you're not wanting your sauce as spicy, you can add your peppers in now, and they'll be a little more harmonious with the sauce, but less potent. I'm going to add mine in there and just let them cook into the sauce, juices and all. Not that I'm Mr. into super hot food, but rather giving you chat an option for a milder version. Thinking about you, chat. Yep, that lost me 2 or 3 viewers. But since we are going spicy with this tonight, let's hit this up with a little cayenne here. Ooh, chat. I've just got to thinking. I bought Fresnos, but I also have Chipotle's open in the fridge. I'm going to say vino, head of broccoli, of vino. All right, heat's off on our onions and garlic there. I'm going to, and our seasoning and all of that. I'm going to add tomatoes over here. Try not to be completely splattered. Did I get myself? Yeah, it's a controlled, it's a AOC in France for wine. In other words, I'm responding to head of broccoli. Hermitage is a region or a small region in France. It could be, a couple of properties. And what you have, there's different ones for different countries in wine, whether it's AOC, DOC, DOCV or DOVC or something like that. They're all different depending on what country. And essentially they are labels that you are legally allowed to put on your wine that says your grapes are coming from this specific place. And if you're not from that place, you can't put it on your label, vice versa. The only way you can do it is it comes from that place. And so Hermitage is one of those. They're primarily used for wine, but they're for all sorts of different things too, depending on which country and which ones they are. They're sort of like trademarks for food or agricultural products. Yeah, I know with the creation of some of the crazy colored wines that they've made in recent years, they've made like blue wines and other colors. They've been all up in arms about what colors wines can be lately. And I agree with, to a certain extent, I very much agree with the whole idea of that. Because if you've tried things and realized that things grown in different areas taste differently because of the surrounding region, you've had champagne and realized the chalk, ground full of like 90% chalk is ideal for those crazy grapes to survive. It depends on what country you're talking about toys. But I do believe that is the beginning of AOC, which is France's designation for... Like, you had it right there earlier, toys. DOCG, I believe, is another one. That might be, is that a Spanish one? And so, yeah, I agree with the whole idea of saying something is from a controlled region, and that region may not align perfectly with some political line, and so it makes sense for it to be its own designation. And I think that's important for ag. Not even just food, but ag. All agriculture. It's actually, I think, a problem here that the U.S. further doesn't care. Like, with our subsidies, I'm not going to argue whether subsidies are necessary or not. I don't know the math. I don't know this politics. I don't know whether that is true. My end of it, from the food perspective, I hate subsidized foods because in many cases they are very bare bones designations about what they are, and they are taken to extremes on either end of what corn you're going to get for each grade of corn and things like that. And I think people deserve a lot more info when they're buying things than it meets this wildly generic definition. And it allows a lot of these big companies to skimp out on their health details and what they're actually telling you is in their foods because, you know, oh, it's subsidized corn. I can't tell you what type of corn and which is hogwash because they're testing it all as it comes in their door, but they get to sit there and say it. Throwing a bay leaf in here. A bunch of dried oregano. And 2 cups of water that I intend to mostly cook out while I'm doing everything else here. Very low flame, just enough to maybe keep it at a simmer. Keep coating our counter with occasional bubbles of tomato. I don't have one of those cutesy over the top cover everything strainer thingies.
The U.S. has our own versions of those laws, too. By the way, we have them for, at least for wines. We have controlled regions. But wine is, coffee is definitely one that I can see that working for. Tea, I can see that working for too, although Asian cultures are not really into that sort of a thing. Maybe Vietnam. Vietnam loves to put all sorts of regulations on the stuff I've seen. Whether they're actual regulations or just labels, I don't know. Fix my earbud here. It's gone silent on me. Pretty sure I just gave myself a paper cut. I have some papers and stuff jammed up over here in the corner. I think I brushed my hand up against it after. I guess I decided to go with the Fresnos instead of the Chipotles. I just totally forgot about that and went into cutting them. By J-knives, you mean how Japanese knives are traditionally sharpened at a 20 degree versus Europe being a little bit more blunt? I don't even know how long this duck's been in the oven. I could just leave the bones in there like this. And set another hour on the timer there. Yeah, I think this is a good time. I'm going to take a little bit of an AFK here, chat. We've got the sauce going on the stove. Got the duck in the oven. I don't want to throw the peppers in there just yet. I'm going to do that a little bit later on, like when I'm starting to cook the spaghetti. And during the AFK, I'm also going to fill up the pasta pot, which sounds horrible on the microphone, so it's probably going to be better that I do that on AFK. Gonna run my ads because we're getting close to another hour here, so we can get another hour ad-free Chef JT. Thank you, Twitch. Header Broccoli. I've been okay with my Vustas. I have my things that I like, things that I don't like. I'm probably not going to buy a Vusta for my next knife. I've actually been planning to / procrastinating on buying a new knife for myself to replace one of the 3 sort of general use for just about everything knives I have. And I just haven't gotten to that. I don't know why. There's no excuse for it either. Regardless, we're gonna take a little bit of an AFK here. Let's see what I have set up. I think we're gonna do the normal ads here this time. And so I will see all you lovely people in 10 to 15 minutes.
Now, a new creation from Seal Test. Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions. Handy envelopes bring you brand new convenience and ease. Zip, it's open, quick and neat. Just the amount you need, the easy way to serve cottage cheese. The rest stays moist and creamy, ready for next time.
Are they handy? Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions.
So easy to use, quick, and no bother at all.
The rest stays really fresh, moist and creamy.
Yes, serving cottage cheese was never as easy as this. Seal Test's new square package with handy, ready-to-serve portions. Zip, it's open, simple as can be. The rest stays moist and creamy fresh. You'll love Seal Test cottage cheese in new, ready-to-serve portions. Get some soon.
There's no other box of facial tissues like this. Scotty's new Magic Oval box. Only Scotty's give you tissues that float up gently, one at a time, and come out in neat handfuls, too, because there's a Magic Oval inside every new Scotty's box. Only Scotty's Magic Oval can give you tissues that float up, smooth and easy. No tugging, no tearing, no extra tissues tagging along. And Scotty's Magic Oval does even more. It lets you reach in for tissues by the handful, all neatly folded, just right for pocket or purse. Scotty's new Magic Oval box is pretty, too. And inside, soft, strong, sneeze-proof Scotties. Remember, for tissues that float up smoothly and come out in neatly folded handfuls, look for Scotty's pretty new Magic Oval box, the only one of its kind.
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee, roasted by a new secret process. Hence, this new none-such coffee has a different flavor, a flavor preserved by vacuum packing, the flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste. Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee pot. In every jar, you'll find 3 special pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee. Try new none-such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
3, 2, 1, blast off. She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Count down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
Say, do you remember this old milk glass satin hen? Well, you know, milk glass was an early American favorite. And when the folks in the old days wanted something really delightful, they'd take one of their milk glass goblets and pour some very fine wine right into it. Well, now, you know, it's Welch's wine that is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's family wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice. And everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And that's right, the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, You insist on Welch's family wine. You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size. You enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food. Or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
And now, from the popular comic strip Peanuts, here are Charlie Brown and his friend.
Why, thank you, Charlie Brown. Thank you, Charlie Brown.
What's the occasion? Has Charlie Brown had another baby sister?
No, Ford has new economy twins, so he's passing out chocolate cigars to everyone.
Everyone?
Yes, everyone.
You bet your boots, everyone. 'Cause it's just like they said. We've got something big to celebrate. And here it is, Ford's Economy Twins for 1960. The economy choice of a lifetime. Oh, I'll bet you've never seen a prettier twosome than this. There's the new size Ford, the Falcon. And next to it, the large economy size Ford, the Fairlane 500. You know, the 60 Fords were featured in the recent issue of Vogue magazine. And when you run your eyes over the elegant good looks of this Fairlane 500, it's sure easy to see why Vogue says Ford means a fashion success. And all this all-new beauty is yours for an all-new price. That's right. This roomier, more luxurious Fairlane 500 is actually priced a whopping $142 less than last year. And as for this pretty Falcon over here, well, just wait till you check its price sticker. It's America's lowest priced six-passenger car. In fact, it's priced up to $124 less than the other compact cars. Look them over in your Ford dealer showroom. Two new Fords, two wonderful new ways to go the finest. Ford's Economy Twins for 1960.
Welcome back, chat. Welcome back. It's no longer the 1960s. Where they advertise cars that would seat 4 today as 6-seaters. And advertised a discount of, what is that, 120 something? It's less than the hidden dealer charges these days. That's if the dealer doesn't like double the price of the car to begin with. That's another one that's been like new cars. You look at stickers now and dealers are like doubling the cost of cars. Got another 40 minutes on these duck legs. Maybe we can prep some of the other stuff for this stock. I got rid of the onion peels. I shouldn't have done that. We can chop up the other edge. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the peppers now out of convenience. Should have grabbed parsnip for this. Parsnip would have been awesome in the duck stock. Duck stock. Quack stock. I have no clue on that one, Hedda Rockley. That is a question for the Butterball Hotline. Saving a couple of ribs of celery, keeping the heel and everything else with the stock. Leaves are gonna overcook and just add bitterness. And mushrooms, I'm going to save some because I'm sort of making my own cream of mushroom to use for my green bean casserole that I'm making. I'm going to combine frozen green beans with my own homemade bechamel / mushroom sauce coated in breadcrumbs, because I didn't really feel like buying those little, I forget what they call them as. So what of this am I saving for? We'll save a couple of creminis. Save a little bit of ugly oysters. And a couple of shiitake minus the stems. Thank you, Nanometer. So the rest of all of this mushroom, I'm chopping up and throwing in with the duck stock. Grabbing all of the larger pieces. I'm gonna give a rough chop too. I could also be honest with chat and say that I've not cooked many turkeys in my life. I am by no means a turkey roasting expert. I mean, after all, I'm cooking duck this year myself. These shiitakes dried out quick. I've only had those in the fridge a couple of days. They're almost like dried out. This oyster's drying out quick too. They weren't this dry at this when I got them. Like anytime I've been in like a restaurant setting, it's been some other chef or something that in charge of things and, you know, stressing out about it. And so I was, you know, sort of at arm's length of the whole process. Or I've done a couple of family-friendly cook-along Thanksgivings in my past where, you know, someone else was dealing with the turkey again. I did notice that there is a store out there selling a pre-made bacon-wrapped turducken. Online while supplies last. I don't want to say that the turducken was invented in my lifetime, because it most certainly was not. It was certainly popularized, and maybe the term was developed in my lifetime. We've done all sorts of freaky stuff with roast food in the past. Well, I'm thinking old school French cuisine and things where, for like royal meals, presidential or, you know, king's royalty meals, in many cases they would roast animals and then sort of recreate the animal, sort of recreate the kill for the star of the party, and things like cooking using intestines and stuff like that, and stuffing them and putting them in the interior of a pig, roasting the pig whole, and then allowing the owner or the star of the show to cut into the belly and have the fake intestines and all the fake innards come out of the roasted pig, or like all sorts of things like that. Got some boiling water here already for my pasta. And turn the heat down there a little bit. They wouldn't have bacon wrapped it though. That's true innovation. I just realized that I could cut some corners and actually... Chat, do I cut this corner? I have boiling water on my stove. Do I use it for pasta water and then turn it into stock water? I am really tempted. Wrap up these mushrooms for my sort of cream of mushroom. I'm treating this new roll of plastic wrap so horribly. It's such a small roll. I'm going to absolutely destroy this box. I just bought a small thing of plastic wrap from the local supermarket rather than getting another proper size one from warehouse store or what have you. Which will happen here shortly, but that way I have a small one if I need a small one. I'm not stuck with the big one. Gives me options. I like options, chat. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be that guy tonight, chat. We're gonna use our leftover pasta cooking water as our stock. And just gonna add a bunch of starch. It'll make the final stock a bit cloudier. Than if I hadn't. But I don't think it's going to be detrimental to the overall product or final product for what I want to use it for, which is essentially gravy. Gravy is not going to be clear. Like, I'm not making consomme. I want to give it about another 7 minutes before we get into starting to cook pasta and all that good stuff. Actually, no, I should probably give it 17 minutes from here because we want a good 10 minutes to allow the duck to rest. Yeah, I'm debating whether I should actually, with the new scramble creation I'm working on, should I extend the dictionary, chat? Is a dictionary of 1,600 words enough? Can you memorize 1,600 words, chat? I wouldn't think that'd be impossible for the die-hard scramblers. Ooh, I wonder how that would look with doing that with this. Let's see here. How does that work? How do I rotate? Wants to snap too much on me. Oh well. I wanted to do a slight twist to, and it's snapping too much on me. I'm not going to do it in the middle of stream and sit there and toy with snap to whatever settings. Can't wait for SprinkleBot. Can't wait. Just so tired of going back, you know. Error, diagnose error. Error, diagnose error. Error, diagnose error. Rewrite everything because it's gotten bloated. My main program file for SprinkleBot has gotten over 3,000 lines long. It's now currently sitting at about, I think it's about 1,350, 1,400 right now. I did get myself around, I did get around to putting up a new ingredient challenge for next week. So next Wednesday, depending on how chat votes, currently split vote. Is it going to be sunflower seeds? Or is it going to be buttermilk? Did I delete them from the ingredient suggestions channel? It appears that I have. But if you've gone and voted in the ingredient challenge, you can go ahead and vote also in the ingredient suggestions channel. how this works is the ingredient suggestion channels. Everyone in Discord is free to add ideas. There's some guidelines up at the top there pinned in the channel. And the ones that have the most votes, and from top down, so oldest ones first with the most votes, go to the main weekly vote. And then the winning vote is what I have to use with on Wednesdays. So, most recently, sunflower seeds and buttermilk had the highest number of votes over here. And I also welcome everyone to vote for their own suggestions and not just everyone else's. And whenever I get around to it, about anything that's older than 6 months and hasn't gotten enough of a popular vote to make it to the main vote, gets called. Discord is definitely sort of, well, on other social media sites I seem to see it much less than I do here on Twitch. And I think it's much more tied to I think it's the way Twitch is going, they're never going to do this, but the truth is Discord is doing what Twitch should be doing. But I think Amazon is afraid of Twitch getting labeled as a social media company. They got rid of the whole friends list on Twitch and things like that. And so I think that's what's going on there. Like, honestly, Discord should be heavily competing with Twitch. Instead, they're just making a whole lot of money that Twitch isn't making. There's a number of things. Like, there's so many areas there where Twitch could be making so much more money and they're just sitting on their butts. Whether it's adding half of the functionality that Discord has to their about pages and creating forums for their streamers, or creating sales pages and destroying Etsy. There's so much that they could do that they're not. And I understand a lot of that's probably to do with the whole... There's certainly an audience here on Twitch that doesn't even want me to be on Twitch, that wants Twitch to be nothing but games. I think there was a much more vocal, much stronger majority 5 or 10 years ago, but 5 years ago. Alright, gonna put the lid back on the water. Get that back up to a nice solid boil. We'll start throwing some pasta in that water. Butter in a pan for the pasta when it comes out. Salt in my pasta water. In with our spaghetti. Lid back on. I don't think that I did this enough justice of what the memory in my mind is of what this dish is to me. My first job? Yeah, first job in kitchens. They had what they sold as barbacoa was absolutely not barbacoa. It was like roasted pork shoulder with a bunch of peppers. We would have that on the line, and then we would have spaghetti on the line. And so one of the lazy cook, quick meals, toss them together, done. And to me, this dish reminds me, I mean, that's very much not what this is, but is at the same time. And the way it's not, the smell is absolutely hitting me as being, that spicy tomato sauce. But they threw in a bunch of thick-cut onions, thick-cut bell peppers, and stuff in there like it was fajita mix or something. And I don't quite have that. We got some onions in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull the duck parts out of the oven here. That's been roasting along with our dinner for our duck stock. If I'd like necks or wings, it'd probably be pretty delicious. But those are just going in the stock. Stock broth, flavorful liquid that's going to turn into gravy. How long do they say their pasta should cook? 9 to 11. According to their list, I would have almost pulled this off of the water already. I'm letting it go a little bit longer because of their recommendation, just to see, what's closer to what they're recommending versus what I would normally do. Do I maybe enjoy my pasta a bit too toothsome? That's 8 minutes there. I've cut the heat too, so... It regained its boil. It's not like it's losing temperature from the pasta at this point. I'm only going to give it 9. I can't do 11. This is too long of a cook on pasta. I can't do that to pasta. Ooh. That was almost disastrous, and I apologize for anyone using headphones. Tossing it with that butter from the pan. You can see it sort of coating the outside of the bowl now. So now, stock. I'm going to use that, chat. Go ahead and throw all the veggies in there too. And mushrooms. And we've got our duck legs. Looking pretty. Worry about the support underneath it, making it fall. I do not want that much fat pouring all over the place. Also going to add a bay leaf to the stock. Now going to carefully try and pull these duck legs out of here and set them on a pan or on a cutting board separate. Don't have a good place for you. So I guess you're staying over here. Making sure we're still happy over here, Pasta. Not forgetting about you yet. I definitely added fat to that pan, Dance with the Felines. If you look at the beginning of the stream, I lined that with a whole bunch of fat. The idea being sort of emulating the amount of fat that's on the outside, on the bottom as well. Just protecting that meat anywhere that it could be. And at the end, you can see it was essentially swimming in fat. A majority of that did render out of this. There's not a bunch of fat underneath that skin still. But that is roughly 2 hours at 300 degrees in the oven being brought up to temp. As I said last time, this is sort of like Blitz or Quick or poor man's confit. It's not all of the work, but it's not as good of a product. But it's quicker and it's damn good. Welcome in, Dances. Happy to have you with us on this lovely Sunday evening. Doing prep for my Thanksgiving, as well as making a lovely dinner. Over on the stove, on the left-hand side here, our former pasta cooking liquid is now turning into turkey stock. That is going to be cooking until tomorrow's stream. We'll deal with this on tomorrow's stream from here. I've got my pasta cooked. I've got some lovely sauce for that. I'm debating whether do I pull the meat on the duck off or do I plate it with the duck. With that in mind, I am going to sauce my pasta minus the bay leaf. With our spicy tomato sauce, using all sorts of Fresnos in there. Can even see them diced in there now. I think I am going to go whole duck leg. Oh, I forgot my Parmesan's looking ugly right now. We're gonna have to unugly my Parmesan. What am I doing, chat? I'm cutting off the mold. And then putting it back in the same moldy bag? I don't think so. Not that I really got all of the potential mold off of it, but we do want to not promote it. And that is the legal and approved way of handling mold on cheese that has not been graded, by the way, chat. Whole block cheese, it is considered safe to just cut mold off of it. I do not have a vacuum sealer. I would love a chambered vacuum sealer, but I do not own one. Hmm? Yeah, it's not a very good angle. Anyways. Yeah, vacuum sealers are great. I've just never wanted one of the non-chambered ones because one of the ways I would very much want to use a vacuum sealer is for my stocks and sauces and unless you have a chambered vacuum sealer that's controlling the inner versus outer pressure of the bag, it's very hard to do liquids. And that's what I do with my stock bags now. I just, by hand, force them as tight as possible, to the point that this one even squeezed into the top when it froze. But there we have dinner, chat. The problem with them in homes is they take up too much space. I mean, they're not too complicated otherwise. I think it's just more that they don't sell enough that they can make them at a reasonable price point for the home. Because they're huge. Like, I have some other things in my house, but it's my house. So, I mean, I think this is going to be absolutely delicious. That skin on the other one just cracked for me, pulling it apart. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious stuff. And so that is where I think I'm going to leave things for this lovely evening. I shall be back here tomorrow. We're going to be doing turkey and rice soup, and we're going to be finishing up that duck stock. So I hope you come back to join me tomorrow night. I don't know if I will or not. If I'm in the mood, I might start the stream early, just showing the stock cooking. If you want to hang out and listen, maybe do word scrambles. I don't know. It depends on how the day goes. But I will definitely be back here for my normal stream, 4:30 tomorrow, to finish things up. I hope you come back and join me. Recipes for tomorrow's stream, if you'd like to join along, are in the Discord. I hope you all have an amazing evening. I am not going to raid out tonight. And see you all back here tomorrow. Good night.